This is my video essay on evolution of colour in film from early cinema to modern cinema. So to start off, I'll begin with talking about how there was no, and when I mean no, I mean no colour in film. They were completely black and white. There was no colour to it. But this did change over time. In 1901, Edward Turner was the first filmmaker to ever film a coloured film, and his film was of a parrot. I think that's quite clever. It's quite clever. I mean, parrot's colourful. So yeah, he was the first person to ever film or one of the first people to ever film a coloured film. But before this, colour was never actually introduced into film until Georges Méliès introduced painting the film frame by frame. To do this, he hired only women. To individually paint each frame of a scene from his film until it's completely completed. And then when projected, you would see lots of different colours, because when it was shown, you could then see what was going on, see the colours that were painted on. After this, some filmmakers figured out how to catch colour on multiple strips of film, but they found it quite difficult to project when shown to an audience until Kinemacolor solved all of their problems. Hallelujah! Kinemacolor solved it. Kinemacolor's idea was to take a film and do a red version and a green version, and then layer it on top of each other so that when projected, it would give the illusion that the film had colour. Although this turned out very well and they picked the right colours for what they was heading at, it didn't work as well as probably what they was expecting, because it had problems with the fact that there was red and green strips going over the screen. The sky wasn't blue. Some of the colours, more natural colours, just didn't show up, which was a big problem. So obviously they tried finding new ways of trying to experiment with colour in film. Soon after, Technicolor developed a new process to capture the natural colours needed that Kinemacolor could not get. So to do this, they used a beam splitter with a semi-permeable mirror in between, and they were able to capture 3 different colours onto 3 different strips. Then those were all pressed onto the same clear strip of film, so then when projected, it would make it seem like all these natural colours were coming together. In 1939, this revolutionised film, which led to the film greatly known as The Wizard of Oz. This film was amazing. One of my favourite childhood films. I love this film so much. And the way that colour was shown through this film was absolutely beautiful. The scene where Dorothy opens the door from going to that almost musty black and white like colour of film that they used to have, to then opening the door to Oz, and everything was bright, and it was so colourful and so imaginative, and it was very much like a child's dream. And that was completely new to film. This changed so much. Not only did it change the visuals of a film, but it changed the way that films felt, the way the tone was emphasized through the film, the emotions, the storytelling. So many things changed because color was introduced into film. After this, it wasn't until 1951 when Kodak introduced Eastman color, which completely wiped Technicolor from even being in use. But the only problem with Eastman color was that there was not a lot of color being picked up within the film. So to be able to pick up the color, they then had to go through Technicolor superior process to then pick up any colors that weren't seen on the original film. They just sort of added little bits until it looked how they wanted it to look, which is basically what we do now. This didn't change until the first Super Mario Bros. Film. So yeah, color has changed completely within films. We now see skin color, light, color of the sky, color of the clouds, even though they're white, color of the grass, color of basically anything natural, even unnatural, you could see the color of, which did change a lot within film. Now today in modern film, color is everywhere. There are very few films now that are filmed in black and white. And that is completely up to the filmmaker's decisions. Most films now are filmed in color, but still have to go through a certain process to be able to get the end result that they were looking for, the tone, the type of story they're telling, the emotion, and they need to emphasize that in a way that comes across in the story that they're trying to tell. But all the color that you see in films is pretty much just light. I mean, as we know, all the colors make white, so it's all light. And if they are not edited in a certain way, it will either be too dark or too light. So they need to be processed and edited in this particular way to then make it out to be what was wanted. This is only because of color gradient. So color gradient is, imagine a scale from black to white. There is a certain sector that we see. And then in film, there is HDR gradient, which is further to what we see with the human eye. And this completely changes the way that color is seen. But I am so happy as a film student to be able to experience the still ongoing evolution of film and cinematography and photography today. Anyways, thank you for watching my video essay on color evolution in film. Yeah? That's the end of the video.